How are you lads? Welcome back to another video. I am in the Temple Bar area of Dublin city centre on a busy Thursday afternoon. I'm outside Grilla, G-R-I, why am I even spelling it? You can see it right on the door. It's Irish for grilling, very smart with the name. I've always been under the impression like, how good can a toastie be? I'm not really the person who will go for lunch and have a toastie, more of a chicken fillet roll kind of guy. I'm going to go into Grilla and find out how good can a toastie be made in Dublin. Man of the people. Oh.
Yeah, man of the people spending money everywhere.
A few bob.
Yeah. I'll get a minute.
The tips. Right lads, I am with Jacob.
How are you doing?
Let you give your title.
Just one of the guys that
Just
works
one of the
at
lads.
Grilla.
Man of the people. You see him in there, in behind. You have to hop in, give the lads a dig out, you know, when they're busy.
Listen.
The most important thing.
Yeah, customer service. Making people happy.
Yeah, whatever about the video. The video can wait. The people are the main priority. So talk to me, Jacob.
Yes.
I believe this was started in as a food truck?
Yeah, exactly. So myself and my business partner, Jack, had started as a food truck back in June 2020 in Front Garden, Malahide, right opposite the beach there. We'd rented off a van and said, listen, let's serve a few toasties during the summer while we'd nothing to do. Obviously, we were in the bar and hospitality business beforehand, so weren't working at the time. Weren't sure when we'd be back working. And
that's the only thing you were probably allowed to actually do hospitality wise.
Yeah, exactly. And we, you know, at the start we'd like, what will we do? Can we make a few bob? And then also, you know, put a bit more fun back into life. There wasn't much happening at that stage. So yeah. And
now, just over 3 years later, you've got what, four locations? Actual like.
Yeah, no.
Brick and mortar, is that a term?
Brick and mortar, yeah. So we've 3 here now in the city centre, 2 vans. They're out as a franchise now. One of them's going to be opening up in Kildare Village next week, and the other is doing events around. We'll be opening up 2 stores with lovely franchise partners out in Cork.
In Cork, yeah.
And then another store in the IFSC in the next 2 weeks, again as a franchise. So.
Yeah, because there's like, it's easy to say it now with hindsight, but maybe there was, but like, did you see like a gap in the market that there wasn't really a place focusing purely on toasties? Like everywhere does toasties, but if you're really pushing it as your product,
focused on it, yeah.
Like there's pubs who nearly centre their whole thing around Guinness as opposed to the pub.
Of course,
it kind of reminds me of that, like you're literally going full hog with the toasties. Was that in your mind, or was it just like, we start in a van and just see what happens? Yeah,
more start in a van, see what happens. But then over time, it was like, okay, how do we hone these toasty skills? You know, how do we have a point of difference? How do we make ours better? And then how do we, you know, set ourselves apart from others?
And last question, is there ever any issues with the name? Because we're in the middle of Temple Bar, I'd say surely like 50% of your customers aren't Irish. And even I had to look up exactly what it meant. In terms, like, are people in going Grilla lads?
People mispronounce it all the time, but I suppose that's sort of like part of a mystique with it. People are like, is it Griola? Is it Grillock? Is it this? But it's Grilla. Well, you know, we probably don't pronounce it correctly anyway. We just say Grilla because that's what we say.
Grilla sounds cool.
Grilla, Gorilla, you know, Grilla is what we say anyway. Yeah,
right, I am going to go in, get myself a cheeky little coffee and a cheeky little toasty.
Lovely.
I'm going to get stuck in. Jacob, thanks a million.
Pleasure.
Top man.
Legend.
Lads, just before I tuck into this beautiful looking sandwich, I want to give a massive shout out to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Lads, you are following the channel. If you're following a few years, you know Manscaped have been there for most of the journey. This channel is my full-time job, believe it or not. How's he getting away with that? Stealing a living. Going into Christmas, coming up towards Black Friday, lads, Manscaped have got all the products you would want. It used to all just be about downstairs with the Lawnmower 4.0, but now they have stepped up, literally up from the groin to the beard. They've got the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. I'm telling you lads, like, I did used to shave my beard with the lawnmower, kind of gross because I was shaving downstairs and upstairs simultaneously. Sue me, but the Beard Hedger Pro is an absolute step up in terms of shaving your beard. And then the Handyman, boom, pull that out, that shaves the neck. And look, I don't shave clean because if I did, I'd look 7 years old. But if that is your bag, the Handyman is so handy. Literally does what it says on the tin. You don't need shaving foam, none of that cutting yourself kind of crack. Get the Handyman on and it shaves real close with minimal chance of nicking yourself. So if any of those products sound appealing to you, support the channel by supporting the sponsors, go to manscaped.com, use code PINTS20 to get 20% off plus free delivery. This sandwich is staring back at me. Let's tuck in. Ham and cheese, it's called a hambo. I just said to Jacob, put in it whatever is good, whatever. You tell me what you're gonna put in it, I'm easy. Flat white test. That is a really, I would be partial to a flat white, lads, I can't lie, and that is a bloody good one. So I've no real idea. This is like definitely not your average toasty. So the price was $9.50. So if you compare that, you know, if you could get a, well, these days you could get a chicken fillet roll or something, probably gonna cost you like £6. So it's obviously a tiny step up from that, but I mean, it looks absolutely unbelievable. They take very good care when they're making a little bit of salt even sprinkled on the top. You know it's good. Let's have it. It's not absolutely massive, which is good because you don't want that too big for lunch, but the fact that they've got the crisps already in there, brilliant.
That's why we have to go to college in the city.
Oh baby. Oh my God. That's crazy good. Jesus Christ. Trying to spread this bit of salt out on the top. Oh, that's so tasty, fuck.
How are you getting on there, all right?
Genuinely lethal. Yeah. Man of the people, Jacob, out test, checking on me. So you can see the outside. That's not burnt, lads. It's just they put butter on the outside and then they grill it. And I used to do that with my little George Foreman at home. Oh, it's a perfect amount of sweet and saltiness. Oh God, it's so savoury, so good. The ham is like fucking Christmas Day ham. Oh man. Again, I hate that I always have to say this, but like, there's absolutely no way paid or fucking sponsored or anything. I'm just going around Dublin to different food joints. That is easily the tastiest toasty I've ever had in my life. Usually if I make a toasty at home, it's just a bit of ham and cheese and mayonnaise. That is a joke how good that is. I don't know what the orange sauce in it is. Absolutely crazy good. It's an absolute art. It's a bloody masterpiece. Christ.
Okay.
You dropped it.
Yeah.
What a day. Sitting in Temple Bar. It's not actually that busy. I said it in the intro, it was busy. It's not really that busy. A few mad characters walking around, a few tourists. It's a good vibe. I can't believe I said vibe. Flat white is fucking fantastic. Oh, this is a really, honestly lads, so bloody delicious. I'm gonna take that bit of salt and scatter it over myself. So you can just tell they know what they're doing. It's surprising that they're only doing it 3.5 years or whatever it is, not even, because there's an absolute art to what they're doing in there. As pretentious as that sounds, oh my God, I can't wait for the second half. Oh, just as good. This is like fine dining. If this place was fancier, I'd bring my missus here and have a bottle of wine and like that is just, it is unbelievable. To say it's the best toasty I've ever had in my life, probably not like an outrageously big compliment because, well, it probably is. Like I've had plenty toasties in pubs and cafes over the years. They've never been anything like that. That is gourmet cuisine right there. So for $9.50, like you're in the middle of Temple Bar, a pint is going to cost you nearly the same price. So when you put it into that perspective, it's not actually that expensive. The fact that they keep it under a tenner. I'm sure if you start throwing in like, if it was like ham, turkey, bacon and all this sort of stuff, which I usually would have loads of meat, but it doesn't need it. It's just out of 10. I mean, that $9.50 is in my head, 9.5 out of 10. That's easy, a 9.5 out of 10. I don't even know what the 0.5 taken off would be for, if not 10 out of 10. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that sandwich. I said at the start, it's not that big. I haven't even finished it yet and I'm quite full. It goes beautiful with the flat white in a little kind of unassuming spot on the corner. Absolute sandwich perfection.